Now, you just remember that for some, it's supposed to be if you have any difficulty or any questions there, you write down in the chat. Okay. So welcome all of you again for the model 2. That is a waveguide we have started last lecture. It's about the hollow rectangular tube. It is about this internal walls of this particular waveguide. It is nothing but what a conducting one. And due to this particular conducting one, this particular length of the waveguide. So if you see that, so it has a large surface area. If you see that, there is nothing but a surface area internal because wave is propagating through this guide. That's why it has a large surface area. And because of that large surface area, what happened there? So the copper losses, that is we can say that is a I square R losses, or we can say that about the copper losses are reduces there because of that large surface area. And here, if you see that in a waveguide, it has a we say that the medium constant, and wave is propagating through the guide. When wave is propagating through the guide has itself. If you see that, we say that it is a hollow one. Okay, that guide is a hollow one. So that some whatever the medium is there, that medium can be air, or we can say that is about the dielectric medium. Okay, that is about the air or a dielectric medium is present in that particular. So because of that air or a dielectric medium, so that losses. Okay, so because of this particular guide and because of the dielectric present, so dielectric losses are less. So if you consider that losses in that case, a copper losses, that is a I square R losses, these are less. Okay, low losses because of the large surface area, and then a because of that dielectric material, so dielectric losses are less. Okay, losses are less. That is because of the dielectric medium. And since this waveguide is a hollow one, okay, and it has say that A and B side, and this has the internal walls are conducting one. So because of that hollow metallic rectangular tube, okay, hollow metallic rectangular tube, so electromagnetic wave are guided through this waveguide. So that's why it is called as a waveguide. Okay, because electromagnetic wave is propagating through this because they are guiding by this waveguide. Okay, that's rectangular shape. So that's why we can say that because of it is guiding the wave, so it has a more power handling capability as compared to the transmission line. So and if you see that we have started there, your wave is propagating through what? A total internal reflection. Okay, when it reaches the wave reaches this boundary, okay, then what happens? It will reflect it back. So now your signal is reflected. So that's why we say that if supposed to be any transmission line, if you consider that, so in a transmission line, what happened there? Because any internal interference, okay, there is nothing but a interference we say, okay, due to that interference, okay, so what happened there? Signal get okay, affected because of that interference. So now here in a waveguide, what happened? Your signal is propagating or it is confined in a waveguide. Your wave is confined in a waveguide, so that's why no interference or no external effect on this particular signal. Okay, happen. But if you consider a transmission line, external interference, any losses, noise at a transmitter, noise at a receiver occur there. But this is not happen in the case of a waveguide. Okay, so because wave is propagating through the guide only, so that losses in that particular guide is a low there. Next, then we can consider that how your signal propagating through it. Okay, so current signal propagating through it means what? Because of that is nothing but a walls of the waveguide. Because walls of the waveguides are a conducting one, and that wave is propagating through this, so it reflected from this conducting wall. So generally, what we can say that because there is a conduction, so what happens? There will be energy loss. No, here the conduction of energy okay does not take place. Okay, through that walls because of what? Because it has a high conductivity, and we can say that a property of electric field. Okay, it's not penetrating through this conducting material. Okay, it will be reflected back. And again, what happened there? That walls are what? A dielectric there. Okay, even if there is a conducting walls, so that walls will not accept that electromagnetic field or electric field there. they will reflect it. That's it. So conduction will not be take place. Conduction of energy does not take place inside the walls of the waveguide there. So we should consider that. Okay. So what will be the way of propagating the signal? So generally, we say that if for a transmission line, okay, if you consider that a transmission line, what happened in a transmission line? Signal is propagating. That is because of what? Voltage or a current, or we can say that representation of a signal in terms of what? A voltage or a current. But if you see a waveguide, so we can represent a waveguide. In a waveguide, there is no voltage or a current. We can represent the waveguide in terms of what? A electric field and a magnetic field component. Okay, we can represent only in terms of what? E or H field component there. So because there is no current propagating, it is that in a waveguide only wave is propagating. So that's why we can relate that the field component in terms of what? Electric and a magnetic field component. Okay, so just remember that. So the wavelength, okay, propagating this earlier we say that wave is propagating through it, and it has a what? Velocity, okay, less than that 3 into 10 power 8. But if you consider again waveguide, because it's microwave, we say that is about a small wavelength. Microwave means what? We can say that is about a small wavelength. Now, due to a small wavelength, we say that wave is propagating through this waveguide. Okay, wave is propagating through the guide, and we say it is about a small wavelength. So now here what happened? A small wavelength is there, that is we can say a lambda, and then a dimension, whatever the dimension of a guide, dimension of your waveguide, not a guide, because we say it is a guide, because wave is propagating through that guide, so that's why we can say guide. But what guide? What is guide? It's wave. Okay, it's guided wave. That's why we can say that's about waveguide. So dimension of a waveguide, it is depending upon what? Whatever the wavelength we have. So dimension means what? General waveguide, we say that it is nothing but a rectangular shape. Okay, this is nothing but a rectangular shape. So these are the shapes. We say that this one is the A and B, because waveguide we have seen. Okay, in a practical also, this is the width of your whatever the rectangle shape here, and this one is the height here. Now in this case, the dimension that A and B are dependent upon what? Dependent on a wavelength. Okay, so we can consider that whatever the wavelength there, so A and B is changes. General case, what happened that B is equal to approximately, that is about twice A. A is always greater than B. Okay, sorry, A is approximately is equal to twice of B. So A is always greater than B. So A is greater. So how long that A will be greater? It can be greater than that twice of a B, or B is okay divided by twice of A here. Likewise, so you can consider that dimensions of a waveguide is depending upon that a wavelength. So how your wave is propagating through it? Okay, how your wave is propagating through it. Again, generally you know that waveguide we say that okay we say that is about a waveguide. In a waveguide, what happens? We are saying that waveguide means what is about a small wave. Okay, it is propagating in a small wavelength. Now a small wavelength is propagating, and it has the dimensions of what? A and B. Okay, so we can say that is about a lambda is depending upon the factor A and B. So based on this particular lambda, so lambda means what? It is nothing but a frequency. We can relate in terms of a frequency also, because lambda is equal to what? C by F. So means we can say that a lambda is depending upon that whatever the frequencies also. So what happened here? A and B changes. So lambda or a frequency changes. Frequency changes means what? The value of a wavelength is depending upon that A and B. Value is depending upon that A and B, means we are saying that okay. So we say that value is depending upon that A and B, means wavelength is depending upon A and B. Similarly, frequency is depending upon the A and B. In a waveguide, your wave is propagating through the guide. Okay, so we say that wave is propagating through the guide. It is depending upon what? That is about what is the wavelength there. So for every waveguide, that frequency, okay, that frequency is depending upon that size of a waveguide, that is A and B. Okay, it is depending upon the size A and B. So when we are saying for a given waveguide, okay, so what is the value of A and a value of a B? And then we can say that a frequency, okay, that frequency is propagating through this guide, means wave is propagating through the guide. So that guide frequency is depending upon that size of A and B. Now if supposed to be, we are saying that frequency, generally we say that for a microwave, it is, we say that it is operating for the X band. X band is what? 8 to 12 gigahertz. Okay, X band is nothing but what? 8 to 12 gigahertz. So means your waveguide is to be operating in this particular specific band of a frequency. That's why we say that generally waveguide is a what? A band pass filter, or we can say that it is a high pass filter. It propagates the signal above some cutoff value of a frequency. Okay, and above that, that is whatever the cutoff frequency is there for a given waveguide. Above that, your signal propagating through the waveguide. For example, I am saying that a cutoff frequency of a waveguide is supposed to be 8 gigahertz. So in that case, what happens? A waveguide signal is propagating through the guide. It is above that 8 gigahertz. Okay. For example, suppose I am saying cutoff frequency is 8 gigahertz. So in that case, what happened? Waveguide allows the signal that is greater than that whatever the FC there. So below the FC, no signal is propagating through the waveguide. Okay, above only that cutoff frequency signal propagating through it. Then we can say that a signal is nothing but a, we can say that's about the wave. So there are various signals can propagating through the waveguide. Okay, not only a single one, there can be a various signal. Okay, we can say that a various signal can be propagating through the guide. Okay, then properties, we can say some facts of the waveguide here, or we can say some properties of a waveguide. We can say that various signal can propagate through the guide. But how they are propagating? They are propagating various signals. Propagate, okay, propagate in a guide because of what? Whatever the modes available. Okay, various signals propagating through the guide. It is depending upon that what? Whatever the modes available here. What are the various modes? So what are the various modes there? Okay, so you just remember that. What are the various modes? And we say that, okay, someone is saying that how it can be high pass because frequency range is from the 8 to 12 gigahertz. Okay, we are saying that X band. Okay, so we are saying that X band is about the 8 to 12 gigahertz. Now it is about the 8 to 12 gigahertz. So we can say that the band X band is 8 to 12. So waveguide we have to design it is to be operating from the 8 to 12 gigahertz. So for any waveguide, when we say that it is operating in the 8 to 12 gigahertz, so 8 gigahertz is the lowest frequency. In that case, it is nothing but a cutoff frequency of a waveguide. So above that particular frequency, your signal propagates. So that's why below that 8 gigahertz, no signal propagation through the waveguide. So above, that's why we are saying that waveguide is act as a high pass filter. Okay. Since we are saying 8 to 12 gigahertz, so that's why we are generally say that it is a band pass filter. But we are saying here above that 8 gigahertz signal propagate. Even if it is above that 12 gigahertz, waveguide signal can be propagating there. Okay, so there is no issue. But below that, it not allow any signal to be propagate there. Okay, so that's why we can say that various signal can propagate in a guide. But what happens? There may be a various modes. Okay, there may be a various modes, and then your signal can be propagating through the guide. Then what happen here? We say that there are the various modes and all. That modes are depending upon what are the A and B side. What is the A and B? Mode generally depending upon the A and B. Okay, so what is the mode? Mode means what? For a rectangular shape of a guide. Okay, so generally what we can say that you people learn antenna earlier. In an antenna, what you people have seen that there is a sinusoidal signal variation. The signal is propagating means what? There is a sinusoidal signal. And that sinusoidal signal here, I am saying just I am going to draw here. Okay, these are the different half variation of the given signal. Now this is nothing but our signal now. This is the first half variation. This one is the second. Okay, this one is the third half variation. This one is the fourth. Now if we combine that, 1 and 2, okay, if we combine that 1 and 2, and this is nothing but what we are saying, that is about a twice pi, okay, or we can say that is about a wave period, okay, complete wave period or a complete one wave, okay, so that's about we will say, and this is nothing but another, so this t and this t is to be same both, but here if in case of waveguide modes, modes means what, whatever the half variation there, half variation with this one, this is the half variation. So we can say that a mode means what? How many half variation possible in a given waveguide. If the dimension of this waveguide, that we can say that A, A is depending upon that one, then we can say that is about the mode one. If A dimension, that length is depending upon that 1 plus 2, then we can say that is about the mode 2. If A is depending upon that, okay, 1 plus 2 plus 3, that is the length, total length. This is nothing but what we can say. Okay, this one. In that case, there will be a mode 3. So modes are dependent upon that. How many of half variation is there? If only a single half variation is there, that is called as a mode 1. If there are the two half variations are there, then we can say it is a mode 2. If there are the three variations there, that is called as a mode 3. So mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. Okay, along with what? Along with A side or along with the B side. Not only to A, it is again along with the B side. But when we are saying that A and B, in that case, we need to say that variation, half a variation of electric field component here and half a variation of the magnetic field component here. So variation of that electric field and magnetic field component, we are getting that how many modes are present. So generally we say that the modes are depending upon that electric field component and a magnetic field component. Now we will go one by one there. Okay, now we'll go one by one. So now generally what happen here? Okay, so we supposed to be consider that for a given particular waveguide. Okay, you just remember that whatever we have written now. Okay, so now we can consider that for a given particular waveguide, I am just saying that there are the modes. Modes are depending upon that electric field and a magnetic field component. So this means we can say that wave is, whatever the wave is propagating through the guide, we can say that it has the electric and a magnetic field component. Now we say E and H. So generally for a transmission line, what happened there? In a transmission line, it propagates. Okay, transmission line propagates a TEM wave, transverse electromagnetic wave. But in the case of a waveguide, what happened that your signal is propagating through the guide. It has a tangential component, or you can say transverse one. Okay, so you can say that tangential component, or we can say that is about a transverse. So we say here in a waveguide, where signal is propagating, this is about the total of internal reflection. Okay, so this is the way you can say that wave is propagating in total number of reflection, and this is nothing but a your normal to this guide. That field component is normal to the guide, and this is about your tangential component to the guide. So now electric field vector, okay, if we say that electromagnetic wave is there, in that case it has the E and H component. Then E and H component, we can say that it can be of what? A tangential component. Okay, so we can say that a wave is propagating through the guide, it has a tangential component. Now, this is about a tangential component when we are saying. So similarly, we say that, or we can say that that generally we say that in a field we say that there will be a transverse component and what we can say that is about a longitudinal component. Okay, we can say that longitudinal, or we can say that is about a transverse. Okay, then it has a component of what? A longitudinal one, or we can say that about a transverse one. Longitudinal component, if you consider in terms of a guide, okay, it is nothing but a tangential one. Transverse is nothing but a perpendicular one. Okay. So we just consider that whatever the electric field component, similarly we need to consider that a magnetic field component. It has a longitudinal component and a transverse component. So wave is propagating through the guide, it has a various modes. Modes are there are propagating modes are depending upon that field component, that is a TE1, TM mode and a TEM mode. T means what? A transverse. Okay, we can say that transverse electromagnetic mode. Okay, transverse electromagnetic mode or transverse electric mode. Transverse magnetic field component. Then we say it is about a transverse electric electromagnetic mode. Okay, transverse electric mode, transverse magnetic mode, and then a transverse electromagnetic mode. That's about a T mode, TM mode, and a TM mode. Now, when we say that, okay, so we just consider that T mode or a TM mode means what? We say that this is a half wave variation along with what? Is about the width. Half wave variation along with width means what? Suppose I'm just again going to draw that whatever the variation takes place there. I'm saying that is about a mode one. I'm just saying that mode one. I'm just taking a reference of electric field component. Okay, so mode one. Mode one is about your rectangular waveguide. Then variation will be half wave. Okay. In that case, your electric field vector it looks like, okay, that is about your half wave variation. That is called as a mode one. Now, suppose I am saying that is about a mode two. In mode two, rectangular size is same. Okay, right, is the same. But only we need to consider that is about the two half wave variation. In that case, we need to consider that electric field vector component. Okay, somewhat we can consider that the different direction. Okay, so this is about the half wave variation. And if I suppose to be consider that there are the mode 3, then in that case this one half wave variation mode 2 mode 3. So like you can say that about the electric field component. Then next is you can say that the half wave variation of this field component. Variation, okay, supposed to be we draw in different directions. So generally people are going to draw in the same directions. Okay, so that we can say that about the mode variation. So this is called as a what? A mode 3. There is a 3 variation. Okay, there is one variation mode 1, 2 variation mode 2, 3 variation mode 3. So this in the case of what? Electric field component. Now similarly for the magnetic field component, if your rectangular waveguide is there, in that case this is about the half wave variation 1. So this one is about your magnetic field component. Then if supposed to be I am going to say that another one, in that case there are the two half wave variations likewise. This is about your magnetic field component. Okay, means there is one mode 1, this one is a mode 2. Okay, so that is about the variation along with whatever the width, whatever the size we have. So according to that we can say that is about the various modes. Okay, so that is called as a transverse electric mode or a transverse magnetic mode there. So a waveguide, here we say that it is about a conducting one, and then in the case of a that waveguide, so you just consider that only, okay, only T and a TM modes are propagating. No TM wave is propagating through the waveguide. Only transverse electric and a transverse magnetic wave is propagating through the guide. Okay, so no TM wave is propagating through the guide. You just remember. Okay, no TM wave is propagating through the guide. So why it is not propagating through the guide? Because it has the field component Ez and Hz is present. But in the case of a T mode, okay, in the case of a T mode, Ez is equal to 0. In the case of a TM mode, Hz is equal to 0. Okay, so why we can consider that while solving, okay, the transverse electric and transverse magnetic mode. Okay, so we can consider that there is a component of either Ez or Hz is equal to 0. That is. But in the case of a TM mode, Ez is equal to 0, Hz is equal to 0. If Ez and both that Ez and Hz is a 0 in a waveguide, so then waveguide will not support that TEM wave. But in the case of a TE mode, Ez is equal to 0, but Hz is present. In the case of a TM mode, Hz is 0, but Ez is present. Okay, any one component along with the Z direction is to be present. Then and then it supports the waveguide. So, generally we say that wave travels. Okay, that is we can say that about the wave travels longitudinally down to the guide, and then okay that is about the wave are reflected from what, that is about this, okay, that's about the conducting wall. Now in that case, whenever we can say that about the wave is propagating through that guide, so there will be either of what electric field component or a magnetic field component to be present. If there is no field component, Z component along with the Z direction, so then there is okay, wave is not propagating. That's why TE mode Z even if that is there is 0, Z is present. Okay, or TM mode Z is 0, Z is present. Only one component is there. So now, what are the modes? I just supposed to be consider that a TE mode. In the general case, what happened? TE mode Z is equal to 0. And what about the other factor? All other components are present. Yes, EY, HX, HY, and HZ. All these components are present. In the case of a TM mode, okay, Z is equal to 0, but all other components are there. Again, I am just writing first EHX. Okay, because it's now HX, HY, then same component EX, EY, and EZ. These are present in this particular guide. Now, that's about the TE mode. But if you consider that a TM mode, EZ and HZ is 0. Okay, all other EX, EY, HX, HY. So that's why for a given particular waveguide, if you consider that what are the various modes there, and that mode either we say that it is about a transverse electric mode or a transverse magnetic mode. So then we need to consider that this one is about a lambda normal here. Okay, we can say that's about a normal here, and we say that's about a parallel component lambda p. Okay, normal component and a parallel component. When your wave is propagating through it, okay, so in that case, the direction of propagation of wave, there will be some incident wave, and because of the direction of propagation of wave, so that we can say that it has a whatever the one component of normal direction and another component, okay, that is for the parallel one, okay, in a particular waveguide. So we say that there will be normal component, about a normal component, parallel component. So we can find out what is the normal component. Generally, wave is incident wave. Okay, so that's why it has wavelength. So lambda of a cos of theta, because you can see that if you consider here now in the case of that there will be angle theta. So we can find out normal. This is normal here, and this is a parallel one. So lambda normal or a lambda parallel is equal to what? A lambda of a sine of theta. Okay? That is normal is nothing but what? It is along with that particular theta, so cos of theta. Okay, opposite to it, so that's why lambda by sine of theta. So this way we can see that whatever the different modes and all. So we consider that here waveguide, we consider the rectangular waveguide. Now there may be a parallel plate waveguide also. In a parallel plate waveguide, plate is there. This one is another plate. Length of the two plates are same. This is about a plate 1 and this is nothing but a plate 2. But the same. Okay, everything is same. Okay, that plate is nothing but likewise. Okay, these are nothing but a two plates we have. We just consider. Okay, so now we can consider that about a two plate. Just like a two plate, but these are the open. Okay, this one is not filled. But in the case of a waveguide, if you consider that a guide is there, but it is filled. Okay, so just remember that we can consider that a parallel plate waveguide or this one, both are same. But whenever we give the attention to what particular transverse electric or a transverse magnetic mode, then we need to see that is about the rectangular mode or a parallel plate waveguide. Okay, so there may be a parallel plate waveguide or there may be a rectangular parallel plate. Okay, parallel plate guide wave is propagating only through this parallel plate. But here it is a confined one. In rectangular waveguide, all the power is confined inside a guide. So that's why we can say that about the confined power inside a particular guide. So, that's why we can say that about the rectangular waveguide. And we say that your wave is operating in the what we can say that a rectangular waveguide, that is about the X band, it is operating in a 8 to 12 gigahertz. Okay. Your waveguide, okay, not this one. Whatever the waveguide we say that about it, waveguide is operating in the 8 to 12 gigahertz band, and generally X band is used. And in generally in our lab, X band, whatever the components are there, both are X band, and one standard, okay, for a practical purpose we are using that is about one standard, okay, that is about a standard of what, a WR90 standard. So for this WR90 standard, in that case it has a inner width, okay, inner width, okay, inner width is equal to what, 2.286 centimeter. You just remember this one, okay, always you remember this one. For WR90 standard, inner width is 2.286, and then we can say that a outside dimension, okay, so that is about the inner width and a outside dimension is different. Outside dimension is nothing but what, that, that is what, 2.54, okay, that is the wide, and you can say that about the 1.27, all are in centimeter, okay, all are in centimeter, that is height. This is the inner width, okay. So then we can say that about the inner height. All of you, inner height. All of you remember this one, because most of the time the people are asking this one, and numerical are based on this particular component. Okay, so inner height and dimensions and all. All the dimensions are in a centimeter. Now, what is the inner diameter? Generally, we say that a rectangular shape of a waveguide, it is a metallic one. Normally, if it is a metallic one, normally what happens that, so it is supposed to be something, it is in a field here. Okay. Dimension. That's about what we can say that about the size. Okay. This one. It is rectangular one. Then internal wall is conducting. This is nothing but an internal surface, and this is about the size, internal size. Now inner size is what? This is the inner size of the guide. Okay, this one is the inner size. How much it is? It is 2.286 centimeter. And this is the outer side. And that outer side is what? Sorry, inner height. Inner width, inner height, it is of what? 1.016. Okay, centimeter. This is nothing but what? Inner side and outer side of the guide. Then, sorry, inner width and inner height of the guide. Then, outer height. So this is the outer height. It consists of this one portion. So that's why it is called as a outer height. Outer dimension is what? You can see that about 1.27. And this one, it is what? A 2.5. Okay, this one is a 2.5. Now, if you see that the dimensions of this particular, okay, dimensions there, if you see here, inner dimension and outer dimension of the waveguide, we say that here we can consider that 1.016, or we can say that this dimension. So inner dimension and that inner width and inner height represent that what is the wavelength. Okay, what is the wavelength of a guide, not a outer dimension. You just remember that inner dimension there. Okay, always you remember that inner dimension is important. Next, we consider that waveguide is propagating through the guide. So then we should know that what are the various modes of the guide and all. Okay, to understand that various modes of a guide, So we should learn first, okay, what are the various modes of a waveguide. For the various modes of a waveguide, to understand the various modes of a waveguide, we need to consider that first of all a Maxwell's equation. So that is, or we can say that is about the solution of wave equation first, and then we can go ahead one by one. So don't get confused here. So wave solution of a wave equation we will understand first. Okay, so for the solution of a waveguide, because we should see that what are the various packs. Various packs means what? How your wave is propagating through this guide. Okay, how your wave is propagating through the guide. Then what are the various modes? Then again we say that a that content of what we say that about a Maxwell's equation again. So Maxwell's equation is different. Okay, so that is relating to the waves and all. Just like right now, we first of all consider this Maxwell's equation to solve the whatever the waveguide components we have. Okay, what are the various? So first of all, we consider that. Okay, so we can consider first what are the various conditions or cases so that your wave is propagating through the guide. So what are the various cases are okay? So that we can say that a wave is propagating through the guide. That's why we consider first a Maxwell's equation, and then we see that what are the various conditions of this particular guide. Now we consider here first of all what are the waveguides there, and then we can consider that supposed to be your Maxwell's equation. If you remember that del cross E is equal to what? Minus dou V bar by dou T, and del cross H is equal to what? Okay, sigma E, or you can say that dou V bar by dou T. Now this is called as a Faraday's law, and this is called as what? Ampere's law. Okay, Ampere's law. So now we can consider that here the what happened there for this particular Maxwell's equation. This is about your wave is propagating through the guide there, and then we consider that these are the Maxwell's equation, and this dou by dou t term we can replace whenever we write this Maxwell's equation in the form of a frequency, or we can say that in the harmonic field. So in that case, we replace that dou by dou t with respect to j omega. So then Maxwell's equation becomes what? Del cross E is equal to what? Okay, minus dou v bar by dou t we say. That dou by dou t is replaced by this factor minus j omega, and then we say that B is equal to what? Mu h. Okay, B is equal to what? Mu h. This one. Similarly, we can consider that del cross H is equal to sigma E plus rho d bar by dou t is equal to what? Sigma E plus, okay, then we can say that is about the j omega epsilon E. Now this one is a required solution for us. So we consider this one, and then we solve the wave equation. To solve the wave equation, we consider that a factor, okay, for this wave is propagating in a free space. So if supposed to be I am going to consider that a del cross E, this one, and I am taking a curl of this del cross E is equal to what? Del of del dot E minus del square E. Now del of del dot E is what? Del cross of del cross E. This one. So because of del dot E is equal to 0, del cross of E is nothing but what? Minus j omega mu h is equal to, this becomes 0. This is nothing but what? Minus del square E. Now we consider that minus j omega mu and then del cross of h. Okay, we consider that minus j omega mu and del cross of h, we can consider that is equal to what? Minus del square E. Now this del cross of h, okay, with this del cross of H is nothing but what? A sigma E plus j omega epsilon E. Now we supposed to be consider that it is a free space now. So this we consider that minus j omega mu into j omega epsilon E. So it becomes what? Minus del square E. So jj square is equal to minus 1. This minus minus get cancelled. We have omega square mu epsilon is equal to minus del square E. Or del square E plus omega square mu epsilon is equal to 0. And this is nothing but what we say a wave equation. Okay, so this is nothing but what a wave equation. Now for the given wave equation, if you solve it, we'll get that wave equation del square E is equal to what we can say that omega square mu epsilon E. Okay, I forgot here. E. Del square E is equal to plus omega square mu epsilon E is equal to 0. That's about the wave equation. Now we can consider that here wave equation for this wave equation in terms of what? Electric field. Or we can consider that wave equation in terms of a magnetic field. So we just solve it, okay, for any means or solve it for any way. Okay, so ultimately the ultimate solution is different. Ultimate solution is what? A wave equation we are getting in terms of what? Electric field or a magnetic field. Now supposed to be I am writing the same in terms of magnetic field del square H omega square mu epsilon H is equal to 0. So we can consider that this is a wave equation in terms of electric field. This one is a wave equation in terms of a magnetic field. Okay, we are getting the wave equation in terms of electric and a magnetic field. Now, okay, so now we consider that the case, we consider that whatever this particular factor we write in terms of what? A propagation number, or we can say that a wave propagation gamma square E is equal to 0. What do you mean by gamma square? Okay, so we can consider that gamma square. Now this one is everything we have solved for the free space. We have solved this equation for the free space. Okay, if supposed to be we are not consider that sigma is equal to 0 for free space. In that case, what happens that this factor will be what? It comes with this equation again. We can add the term here plus sigma E if it is not a free space. So then this equation changes. Everything changes. So supposed to be I am saying that for the free space we can say that omega square gamma square is equal to what? Omega square mu epsilon. Propagation constant is equal to what? Omega mu epsilon. But in the case of if I supposed to be consider that minus j omega mu and here j omega epsilon E plus sigma E, then everything will change. In that case, gamma will be what? Gamma will be nothing but what? Because j omega epsilon is there, j omega mu is there. Okay, this term is there. So in that case, so gamma is equal to what? It is nothing but what? Under root of what? Okay, this term. Okay, this term is what? J omega mu. Okay, in bracket of what? Sigma plus j omega epsilon. Okay, this one. So directly, I have written directly. Okay, everything. So this is this term when we consider there is no what we can say the free space. We just consider that wave is propagating in a guide. In that case, okay, so for a guide, no free sources, free. That's about what you can say. That is about volume charges in that particular guide and all. So in that case, rho will become 0. So that's why del E dot E is equal to 0. But there is some particular thing. What is about the conductivity? Then conductivity we have written in the form of what we can say that the equation okay, for the conductivity portion. That part is different. Okay, that is about del dot E is equal to 0 and all. So now we can consider that is gamma here. In the case of what? J omega mu in bracket of sigma plus j omega. Now if we solve this term, we'll get that propagation constant gamma alpha plus j beta. Here we say that some attenuation, and here we can consider that okay, so this one equation we consider that is about the attenuation factor, or we can say that there is some Okay, so now we consider the wave equation again for, okay, for saying various cases for this particular waveguide. What are the wave propagating through the guide? So now I supposed to be consider that del square E is equal to what? A gamma square E. Now del square is nothing but a vector operator. Okay. So in that case, del is nothing but what? Dou square Ex by dou. Okay. So I just writing again. Del is what? Vector operator. Dou by dou x, not square. Ax unit vector. Dou by dou y, ay unit vector. Plus dou by dou z. Okay. Dou by dou z. Okay, this is about your. So now I'm supposed to be, I am writing this del square E here. Okay. So this way. We are just getting the equation this way. Okay, so we are just writing this equation here. So del square E is equal to what? Okay, so we can consider that del square E in terms of del square E, we can say dou square E. So I'm just writing again this equation. This is what? Dou square by dou x square E. Dou square by dou y square E plus dou square by dou z square E is equal to gamma. Now suppose I am saying that E has a component of x, y and z. Then it has, we can say that E is nothing but what? Electric field component. It has along with x, electric field component along with y, electric field component along with z. Okay. We can say that field component along with x, along with y, along with z. Or we can say that Ex, Ey or Ez. That's the what you have. If there is a what, we can say that wave is propagating and that this field component is a function of x, this field component is function of y, this field component is function of z. Okay, so we can say that whatever the wave is propagating, it has a function of x, function of y, or a function of z. So when we solve this particular field component, there is a variation in terms of what electric field component in terms of the x, y, z. For simplification, we consider that Ex of x, comma, y of y, comma, z of z. Okay, and this E, okay, instead of E, we just consider that any one particular factor, constant factor. Okay, so I'm supposed to consider that about the psi. So if supposed to be this one is about your psi, where it's for with x and y and z. So in that case, when we write the equation for this del square E, okay, so that's about this one. Instead of E, I'm just writing a psi here, and we just solve this. By solving this, we will get that 1 by of x is equal to dou square x by d square, 1 by y dou square y by dou y square, 1 by z